what does RPA stand for? Um, as you know, there are a lot of designations. RPA stands for Real Property Administrator. It's a professional industry certification, and some would classify it as graduate level coursework. This industry recognized program is going to provide advanced information on a variety of topics relevant to the commercial real estate industry that are going to help you become a better property manager or asset manager or whatever it is that you want to do in commercial real estate. The RPA program consists of 8 courses that can be taken over a period of 7 years. So you're not going to be too stressed if you want to drag it out. And some people have. I think personally I did it in 4. I know people who have done it in longer than that, and I know people who have done it in less than that. If you go for the less, it's a little harder because most companies won't pay for more than 2 classes a year. But they're not terribly expensive either. The courses are available in multiple delivery styles. You can get them in self-study, which some courses, that's good. You can do them online if you like that. And BOMA, Wisconsin offers classroom style courses as well. And we usually offer 2 courses a year. In most cases, those courses are followed by a proctored exam. And the proctored exam is taken in an exam testing center, and they are very stringent. As an RPA candidate, you're going to learn how your decisions as a real estate professional affect the properties that you manage. You're going to have topics consisting of financial, such as budgeting, investment valuation and finance, various accounting topics, including operating expenses and capital, to things like law and insurance and risk management. You're going to get coursework in maintenance of mechanical systems and issues with maintenance of the building envelope. You'll also learn about environmental hazards such as asbestos, how to deal with that, and laws relating to workplace hazards. Finally, you'll learn about ethics and what it means to be an ethical business person, which is really important, especially as a building manager. Every decision you make needs to be made in the best interests of the building, your tenants, and the owners that you work for, be it a third-party situation or if you work for the owner directly. You always need to be making ethical decisions based on what their goals are. Overall, the RPA program provides education to reinforce and bolster your knowledge as a real estate professional. It also provides recognition that you will feel and see all over the world. You'll be recognized as an expert in property management. Required courses, excuse me. As I said, there are 8 courses required to achieve the designation of an RPA. 7 of those are actually required, and 1 is an elective. You have 3 choices for elective, and most people take, they're all over the place. If you choose, you can go back and take the 2 electives that you didn't take to complete your program, and that would be considered continuing education. So all is available, and the courses themselves are really good. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. I haven't told you who I am. Most people on this call know me. I'm Elmer Magna. I am an RPA. I've been an RPA since 2016, and I'm the BOMA president. I'm going to introduce to you Patrick Noonan, who is also an RPA, along with Alex Higelmeyer, Lori Brinza, and Sherry King. All 4 are RPAs. Patrick, Alex, and Lori recently completed their RPA studies, and Sherry is a little bit more experienced, similar to me. So we'll start with Pat. Pat, if you can just tell us a little bit about yourself and why you decided to do the RPA, and if there's anything you learned from it.
Thanks, Elmer. Thanks, Elmer. Pat Noonan, property manager with Colliers International. I manage half a dozen buildings downtown Milwaukee, including the 833 building, 42, Pabst Boiler House, Curry Pierce, and the Intermodal train station. Forgot that one for a second. So I started the RPA in about 2017, maybe it was 2018, and it took me just over 2 years to complete. I did about half my coursework self-study, half my coursework in the classroom. You know, I think the reason that I started the RPA is I was told that I didn't have enough experience. And so I thought that, you know, continuing my education and getting the RPA would, you know, prove to those people that, that I didn't need the experience, but I had the education. And so, you know, I think the RPA is a great certification. You know, in the classroom, you get to meet industry professionals that are teaching the classes and learn from their experiences, as well as, you know, the other people that are in the classroom and hearing about their experiences. You know, I manage half a dozen buildings downtown, but there's a lot of systems that I don't get to experience. And so, you know, through the RPA course, you get to learn about those other systems, you know, different HVAC systems or sprinkler systems or other ways of doing accounting. And I think that's what really makes the RPA great. So I'll stop talking. I'll pass it along to Alex.
Hello, I'm Alex Hegelmeyer. I work for the Marcus Corporation. I work in our real estate department, primarily with the theater division, but we also do work for the hotel division and the corporate arm as well. I started taking the RPA classes many years ago. I took a longer track for sure. It might have taken me 6 years. I took all of my classes in class with BOMA, Wisconsin, with the exception of the ethics class. That was the only one I did self-study. I preferred the in-class personally for my learning and the way I learn. It was better for me. I also really enjoyed taking them in class because I felt like you got more from the class. You got a lot of your colleagues who were taking the class and teaching the class with you, who had a lot of firsthand personal experience that is not something that can be taught through a book. I started taking the classes because I was encouraged to by a manager, which was fantastic. I didn't start out my career thinking I was going to be in real estate. And so there was a lot of things that I needed more on. So that's why I started taking the RPA. Like I said, it did take me several years. It has been a great help for me because of what I do here at Marcus specifically, because what we do here is so broad. We do everything from leasing to selling to buying. We're the leasee, we're the lessor. We really do it all here, and having that kind of broad knowledge of environmental reports and finance and all of those things has been really pivotal in my career and understanding what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So I think that that's really the big reason for me. And I feel like I'm better at my job because I have that background. I think we're going to Lori next.
Hi, I'm Lori Brinza, and I'm the office manager / clients service manager at Tishman Speyer at 330 Kilbourne. And I started my RPA journey back in, I think, 2015 with the support of my property manager. And that is so important to have that support and encouragement. I think it has given me just a wide knowledge of property management, operations. I've gained so much confidence from the courses I've taken, and I've also value all the relationships I've made. I did the same thing as Alex, and all of my classes were in class, and it was a fabulous learning experience. And I highly recommend it to anyone, and I think it makes me a more valuable office manager. Sherry.
Hi, I'm Sherry King. I'm the property manager at 330 Kilbourne. I started the RPA, I don't even know, it was a long time ago that I started. The very first course I took as self-study, and I very quickly realized I am not cut out for self-study. I just don't have that kind of discipline. So I worked with BOMA, and I eventually joined the board. That was my first round with them, to push to get the classes in the classroom. So I'm a huge advocate of this because I felt like there were some gaps in my understanding of property management, and I really saw the benefit of that and needed like I said, I needed the structure of a classroom setting. So I found that very beneficial, and I will continue to advocate having that available to our constituency as long as I can. But I also really took away a lot of relationships from it. So there were a lot of people that were starting out in real estate as I was, that I took these classes with, and now they are property managers of other buildings downtown. And I think that we have a far more valuable, deep relationships because we went through this together and kind of came up the way through it. And with that, I'd give it back to Elmer.
All right. Well, thank you, Pat, Alex, Lori, and Sherry. I'm going to give you a little bit of my personal journey as well. I started the RPA in 2012, did it in 4 years. I was encouraged by my manager at that time to do it. My background, I have a bachelor's degree with an emphasis in real estate, so a lot of the classes were touch up for me, things that I learned in the past, but there was also some gap filling. And it's really an informative program. And with that, we go on to how do I sign up? First of all, there's this nice form that Leslie has put up there for us. You do have to enroll in the program. It's pretty simple. Fill out a form, send it in. If you're signing up for the RPA certificate program, there's an initial sign-up fee, same with CPM. And BOMA, Wisconsin is offering right now in July, and you have to sign up by July 13th, the ethics class. That is going to be a proctored class. It's going to be 2 4-hour sessions, which will probably be less than 4 hours because we'll be able to get through the material pretty quickly. And that class, that course is going to be taught by me. So if you feel like you want to listen to me for 8 hours, excellent. I've been told that I'm an okay teacher. So we'll see if that continues on with the new course. Ethics is something I believe in. I think you have to be very ethical. And we don't have enough people in the world today who get taught about ethics. We don't talk about it enough. So this is one that's near and dear to my heart, almost as much as finance and investments, which I'm really kind of into. So I would urge you to take a look at it. For attending or signing up today, BOMA, Wisconsin is potentially going to raffle off a free course. So because you signed up and listened to us for 25 minutes, you're going to be entered into that drawing. We're going to talk about it tomorrow at our BOMA, Wisconsin board meeting, and we will notify the winner or winners later this week. So with that, does anybody have any questions for anybody? You can ask, directly someone other than me for me. Let's open it up. Anyone?
Hey guys, this is Braden. Just wondering what your guys' preference would be You kind of all talked about how the differences between the classroom and online work. What are kind of the pros and cons of each, would you say?
If anybody else wants to jump in, you can. I will handle that one from my standpoint. I did both. The coursework or the classroom setting, you get to interact with other property managers, other people in real estate in the Milwaukee area, and sometimes from outside of our area, and they bring something else to the table, regardless of what the topic is. There's always going to be another opinion or another story, and I think the best part about being in classrooms is you get to hear stories. It's like finance and investments. We can talk about how a cap rate affects a building, and look over at a building that might be across the street and say, okay, so if the cap rate on that building is 7%, it's worth this. If it's 9%, it's worth this, and why a higher cap rate is not a good thing for a building. So, or if it's talking about ethics, we can talk about a situation that happened and was this decision that was made ethical or not. Building and operations and management, we can talk about, I remember in my first building and operations class, it was proctored by Tom Hallett. If anybody knows Tom, he likes to talk. And he told us about how he was looking for a leak from a roof, and it ended up he dropped this thing over the side that he had made out of PVC pipe that would spray water on windows to find a leak in a building. And it was really interesting just listening to that. And then people talked about other building leaks and things, and it triggered a lot of conversation. That's what the classes give. If you're a really good self-study person, the topic is something that you feel comfortable going over. Law is one of those that I think people can do self-study on, because it's a lot of there's a lot of black and white in law. There's also a lot, but it's easier to do. If you get into more technical things, the courses or the classes really help because you get the stories. Anybody else?
I'd just like to add to that. I think that we all kind of know what our strong suits are, and where we maybe need a little bit more guidance. For me, like I said, I took all of my classes in person except for ethics, because I know I learn better that way. But if I were somebody who learned well both ways, I would say that it's more important to take the classes that you maybe think aren't your strong suit in person. Like, for example, for me, finance was definitely not my strong suit, but I will be forever grateful I took it with Elmer, because he really walked us through it, answered all the questions very specifically. If we had questions after the fact, he helped us with them. So having that connection with a teacher on something that's really not your strong suit is, in my opinion, really important, because the teachers that they pick are typically experts in what they're teaching to a certain degree. So I think that that would be my advice, is if you know you're going to struggle with one of the classes, take that one in person, or that handful of them in person for sure.
As an added benefit, the BOMA Wisconsin person classes are typically less expensive than the online courses, so it works out, to your advantage to sign up for the BOMA class if you can. If your time frame is going to be real short, like Pat Noonan's, do it in 2 years, you're not going to be able to take all your classes in person. You're going to have to do some online stuff. If you go longer, you might be able to take every class online, or in person, and it would save your company some money. I mean, again, not a lot, but it's and it's a very relaxed. We're in the classes very casual, and asking questions is encouraged. Let's have another question.
I have another one actually.
Okay.
Is there a specific order that you would recommend taking them in, or is it just kind of how they are offered? Is there, like, obviously the ones that are in person are offered in a specific order, but does it matter? Is there any taking them a certain way? Sorry.
The only class that I would say you need to take in order would be the design, operation, and maintenance of building systems, part 1 and part 2. I would take those in order. You don't have to, because they don't build on each other. But those are probably better to take in order. Other than that, you can take them in any order you want to. And we try to offer the classes that people need. So because we can see who's taken classes, and if we know that we have 6 candidates and they all need budgeting and accounting, we're going to offer that so that you can take it. If 2 people need environmental health and safety issues and 4 people need real estate finance and real estate investments and finance, we're going to probably offer the real estate investments course. But we do look at that and try to offer classes that are relevant to the people that we know. But to answer your question, you can take them in any order you want. I've got it.
Okay.
Experience, is it specifically as a property manager? I worked as an analyst for real estate companies for a number of years, and then worked in a different industry for a while before becoming a property manager. Sorry, my mic doesn't work. David, good question. The industry, well, first of all, you've been a building manager at Bank One for about a year, I think. When you would finish, you would be a building manager for 3 years easily. But I believe they would take the experience in real estate into consideration. So I don't, as you know, from a strict standpoint, that it's going to matter too much for you. But I think it would be taken into consideration. You probably would be acceptable at 3 years. And that has to be, the 3 years of experience is when you complete your program. Anybody else? Okay. With that, if you have any questions, you can reach out to BOMA, Wisconsin. I believe we have you have the email address that we used for this. Those questions will be answered by either Leslie, Jenny, or myself, or maybe any other member of the board. More than happy to answer questions at any time. And as Lori indicated, and Alex as well, when I teach classes, I'm available to you via text message, cell phone, whatever. I will answer your questions typically up until 10 o'clock at night. If you call me after that, it's a good possibility that I'll answer, or if you text, but I guarantee it until the morning. So with that, thank you for coming to the RPA Zoom call, and hopefully we'll see some of you in the ethics class on July 20th.
I'd like to also add that that is up on the BOMA website right now, so you can register, and we are taking registration till the 13th because we have to let BOMA know about materials to order them in time. So thank you, everybody.
One last thing. Once you complete the program, you get this super cool certificate, and BOMA, Wisconsin frames it for you, and we present it to you at a BOMA meeting. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.